And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event of the evening. Calling to the stage the promoters, Kunarit Singwangcha, the ABF chairman, Mr. Darwin Miller from the Philippines, and Mr. Ulysses Sato, the Japanese matchmaker, Mr. Briko Santig, and Kun Supanat Janram. To the stage, please. In the stage here with us, we have Mr. Narisin Wangsha, he's the chairman of the ABF, and we have Mr. Darwin Miller from the Philippines, and we have Mr. Ulysses Sato, the Japanese matchmaker, Mr. Briko Santig, and Kun Supanat Janram. Calling to the stage from the blue corner, Shanborlang Marbaniang. Calling to the stage his opponent from the red corner, Jayson Vayson.
Lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, not likely.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is scheduled for professional boxing, 10 rounds. It is time for the ABF Light Flyweight title. Introducing to you first, find out the blue corner, hailing out of and proudly representing India with a professional record of 5 victories, 2 losses, and 2 bouts even. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Shanborlang Marbaniang. And his opponent finding out the red corner, proudly representing the Philippines with a professional record of 12 victories, 1 loss, and 1 bout even. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Jayson Vayson. And the supervisor for this bout, Mr. Suraport Pongji Vanish. And the co-supervisor, Mr. Marut Hong Pradit. And the referee in charge of the action, Ajahn Chris Sanyade. And the 3 judges scoring ringside, Judge Bimai Posuwan, Judge Tanin Bumpil, and Judge Carlos Costa.
Okay, everyone, we made it to the main event of the evening. This is for the ABF Light Flyweight title. This bout will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds, and it's the Philippines taking on India. In the red corner, we've got Jayson Vayson, a veteran of 14 fights, 12 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw, going up against Shanborlang in the blue corner. Shanborlang is representing India. He has 9 fights in his record, 5 victories, 2 defeats, 2 draws. It's been a great night of action so far, Jimmy. I've really enjoyed calling the action this afternoon with you.
It's been a fantastic fight so far, and also so many good fights, so many quick finishes. We've seen Jayson Vayson fight many times, and we've seen him lose before as well. Can he redeem himself in this title fight? And it's been a fast start already. Shanborlang really coming out with the swings.
Yeah, swinging that right hand so far, Shanborlang. Great night of action. We've had some great knockouts. But these two, like I said early on, it's the lighter weights that normally steal the show for me. The little pocket rockets, they're just able to slip and dip and just throw barrages of lightning fast combinations at their opponents. But Shanborlang just slinging that right hand to the head and to the body. Jayson just shaking it off so far, slipping and dipping so far, Jimmy.
Shanborlang doing a great job to keep sending that right hook as well. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed as well, he's also sending that right hook to the hips of Jayson Vayson as well. And that is a veteran move to really disrupt the movement of your opponent. But there we see Jayson Vayson really pushing it, rolling with the shots and really trying to push the pressure. And very quickly the referee calls a warning about going too low. Very good by the referee to really call it. Back into the action they go.
And Jayson just getting stuck in straight away, walking straight into the pocket, trying to deliver some heavy shots to the body. Jab being popped out there by Jayson on the outside, going to the body again with the right hand.
And that's something we haven't seen very much of in this fight, is the use of the jab. Both fighters really just going in for those hooks and those uppercuts. I'd really like to see Jayson start sticking that jab, sticking and moving, because right now Shanborlang is just sending hooks after hooks, and he's got his opponent exactly where he wants him.
I mean, is that a thing in boxing, Jim, where you just use your power punches, your hooks to the head, to the body, your uppercuts a little bit too much? You should sort of be a bit more reserved and try and pick your opponent apart with a nice jab and sort of build your combinations a bit.
It depends how well conditioned you are and what your signature is in that fight. If you're someone who can keep up the same tempo for the entire fight, then you should just keep going on with those hooks if it works for you. If it's a recipe that works, you keep doing it. But at the lighter weights, because they're just so fast and they're so powerful, they can just keep sending hook after hook. You don't really tend to get a jab warfare with the straight punches. It tends to be this mid-range battle. These two fighters are quite short. They're going to be at that mid and short range, so the hooks is always going to work best for the power punches. Now, with that being said, a straight punch does beat a hook, but at the same time, it depends what's working. That was a beautiful left hand landed by Shanborlang, and it looked like it almost tumbled Jayson.
Yeah, that left hook definitely did shook Jayson Vayson. Let's see if he's recovered. It looks like he has. But Shanborlang's still going to town with his right hand. Great footwork there to get out.
Use a short right hand. The punch doesn't have to be powerful as long as your opponent moves on to the shot. So we're going to see how these fighters have possibly adjusted for round number 2.
Double jab there to start the round from Jayson Vayson. Something that Jim was really calling for, and Jayson's finally giving it to us. I mean, it's the best way for me. Just try and start the fight slowly. Don't try and, you know, blow a gasket too fast and, you know, empty your gas tank on trying to knock your opponent out in the early stages of the fight.
You don't want to reveal your hand too early as well. You don't want to give them your best punch and give them a false sense of security. And there was a beautiful left hook. And it looks like a lot of these shots will land a lot harder, like I mentioned, when your opponent's off balance or when they're walking into the shot. So I would like to see them time these hooks rather than just throwing for the sake of throwing punches. Time the hooks when your opponent's moving forward.
Yeah, just like we saw early on in a couple of other fights where we had fighters just time that uppercut to the body, that swinging right uppercut, and just let their opponent walk straight into it. We saw that from Jesse Espinas. We saw that from Usman Wazir.
And that is a great punch to call as well. If you know that your fighter's walking towards you and they're constantly swinging hooks and they're getting tired, that hook to the body is going to work. Now, with these younger fighters and these one, you know, the lighter weights, those shots don't tend to necessarily drop them. But if you start going to the rib cages or start trying to find that liver, you can tend to drop it. But if you're just going to the abs, you tend to not really do as much damage as you would at the other weight. So I would like to see him set up some body shots, but really attack the sides of their body as well.
Yeah, James Jimmy not asking for much, but asking for something that needs to be done. Overhand right there from Shanborlang, going upstairs on the left hook too.
This is why we love this division, Ali. This is exactly what we like to see. All-out warfare, trench battle, both fighters giving it everything they've got, and they don't want to leave it to the judges. They just want to take their fight to their opponent, and that is what we're seeing. A beautiful turn by Shanborlang, very much a veteran move. Something you almost never see in boxing these days is the switch and turn of Shanborlang. Great stuff.
Shanborlang going to the body there, right hook upstairs from Jayson Vayson, going down and going upstairs to the body again. These overhand rights going downstairs once again from Jayson Vayson. This guy is a real juggernaut at the moment, Jimmy.
Shanborlang looked like he's starting to tire, and he might have punched himself out, because now you see Jayson Vayson really pushing, and this is what he needs to do. When your opponent gets tired, you've got to get on your bicycle and pretend you're not tired and really take it to them. That's how you do it. That's the art of warfare. But when somebody's tired, they're also dangerous. They're down to their final moments in a fight.
Shanborlang, though, still firing back. The overhand right and left hook are very dangerous punches from the fighter from India.
Punches that would have put most men down to the canvas, and that is just a testament to the fitness levels of both of these fighters. They've landed haymaker after haymaker, yet neither fighter has gone down.
Jayson Vayson just pushing his opponent away, going downstairs with that left hook to the body.
Final moments of this round, Jayson Vayson just walks into another big shot, and we finally see Shanborlang, and a great shot to the body. The referee has called it, and that was definitely a mixture of somebody walking backwards and hit at the same time, which is exactly what the knockdown should be called for. A great knockdown to end that action, Ali. Absolutely fantastic, and what a way.
That knockdown must be scored it as a 10-8 round for round 2. And I've got to agree with Jimmy. I really think that Shanborlang is starting to tire, and if Jayson can start to go to target that body faster, to target it more, then we could have a early finish to this fight. Here we go, round 3 underway now.
Round 3, but it seems like we've seen many more. But just the way these two are fighting, they're just putting on a beautiful display of their boxing fighting, as we like to call them. They're really technical with what they're doing, but they're really vicious with the punches that they're throwing. But Jayson's got to be very careful he doesn't walk onto it. We've seen Jayson get dropped before when he walks onto shots. He's got to be very careful, but he's got to have a lot of belief now after putting his opponent down.
Jayson got his opponent in the corner there, tags him with the right hand. Shanborlang trying to get out of trouble, he does, but he ends up on the other side of the ring.
And this is where Jayson just really needs to push forward and just start putting it towards his opponent. When your opponent keeps complaining about low blows, it gets to a point where you've just got to push the action, and I think this is what we mentioned. Shanborlang is starting to tire. He gave every shot to his opponent and he couldn't drop Jayson. He's now got to realize he's got to go to plan B.
Yeah, Shanborlang, you just tell from his body language how he keeps backing off. But is he baiting his opponent in to a devastating attack? It looks like he sometimes is, but just doesn't have the steam to pull it off all the time, Jimmy.
It tends to be a battle of who wants it more, who's got the better gas tank in these particular fights. Both fighters very similar in stature, very similar in punchability, and pretty much boxing in a very similar manner.
That didn't look too low to me, but Chris Anyadet saw it differently. Overhand right there from Shanborlang.
And a nice jumping left hook as well. I mean, look, these two fighters are just trying to put each other away, and Shanborlang took a big deep breath there, and Jayson Vayson is hunting him down, and that's what he needs to do, Ali. If he wants to put this fight over, he needs to just keep tearing up his opponent in the corner.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to do so, but Shanborlang doing a great job fending him off. Just needs to get out of his own corner now. Just push away and try and find some space, try and pivot off. There it is, there was the space right there, but Jayson tagging him with the overhand right, complaining of it back of the head, but I don't think so, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jayson Vayson to me looks like very much like a young Eric Morales, constantly moving forward, constantly hooking, and in between those hooks and combinations, he's throwing feints as well, going to the body and making this a real dogfight. This is an absolute fantastic fight we're seeing right now. And this is probably good for Shanborlang. He probably wants a breather, but Jayson is going to get back into the action.
Okay, action looks like it's going to resume right now. Chris Anyadet just trying to get a hold of this fight. A bit of a telling off from the referee. Right hand's being slinged back and forth by both fighters. Uppercuts as well. Here comes Shanborlang.
He went to touch gloves and he just pretended to touch his glove and then cracked him with a big hand. Protect yourself at all time. And Jayson Vayson is not waiting. Both fighters are going to stop complaining about the low blows here.
Yeah, they just need to get their job done right now, which is to finish this fight as much as they possibly can. Jayson Vayson just slinging it in, trying to throw hooks to the body.
I mean, he's throwing very similar hooks to an uppercut as well. Very much a corkscrew shot as well. He's just digging it up. And that is the end of the round. Beautiful round indeed. Ali, give us some. And it was a beautifully timed body shot, which just knocked his opponent off balance. We're going to go into a fourth round. I'm excited, Ali.
Yeah, I am as well. Chris Anyadetlo having a stern word with both fighters, telling them to behave themselves. There were a lot of low blows between the two of them in the last round. We just want a fair fight, guys.
Sorry to interrupt, Ali, but that was an absolute peach of a pull counter landed by Shanborlang. The first straight punch he lands, and that was just perfectly timed. I mean, if you look at Shanborlang, he almost looks similar to Arturo Gatti with the same haircut, and he's also using a shoulder roll as well. So you can now understand why he's fighting the way he is. So this is exactly the fight we've expected for Shanborlang. Jayson Vayson really taking the fight to him.
Jab to the body there from Shanborlang on the back foot, you know, using that shoulder roll that you pointed out. It looks like he's really trying to wind up that straight right as soon as Jayson Vayson walks in. I mean, Jayson every time just storms the pocket with hooks to the body and to the head. A perfect counter. You mentioned early on in a previous fight, Jimmy, his right hand is the best counter for a hook. Looks like Shanborlang trying to find it.
Yeah, and we're starting to see the straight punches, and that tends to be a case of the fighters are starting to tire right now. They're starting to set up the punches just a little bit more. They've tried to give it all they've got in the opening rounds and really put their opponent away. And when you're in the fourth round and you've given your best punch to your opponent and they're still not out, and a beautiful slip and dip. And why is he stopping? He should not stop. He should just keep going. Beautiful head movement by Shanborlang.
Shanborlang targeting the body, targeting the head with a left hook. It's not been a bad round for Shanborlang, been able to survive and get his own shots off very well. The shoulder roll looks like it's paid off for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done exactly what he needs to do, but I think it's because both fighters are almost taking a little bit of time off, almost like a hard sparring session where you both know you've got to survive the round. Let's take this round off and we'll come alive in the next one. But this is a fantastic round so far. Beautiful boxing by both of these fighters.
Huge overhand right there from Shanborlang. Just lifted up the guard with that uppercut that was very light, but just to get his attention so he can, or distract him so he can land that overhand right.
Jayson Vayson's had his chin tested in this fight so far, and he's been wobbled possibly twice so far, but he has not made his way to the canvas. But this has been a great round for Shanborlang indeed. He's sticking and moving, he's landing clean punches, and he nearly made his fighter tumble just with head movement alone. A great round for Shanborlang, proving he can go to war in the trenches, but he can also take you from the back front of the battlefield as well.
Shanborlang getting pressured here by Jayson Vayson. Left hook to the body, right hook to the head from the Filipino fighter, who, like Jimmy said, it looks like he has kind of taken a round off right now in round 4, and Shanborlang is giving him enough time to recover and readjust his tactics with the shoulder roll. Okay, that's the end of round 4. We're going to round 5.
So it's one of those situations where, have you done the correct training to take a round off and really come alive in the next round?
Yeah, let's see. Here we go. Round number 5 right now. Right hand's been slinged in by Shanborlang. I really like how he's just adjusted so well and adapted to this with the shoulder roll guard. But Jayson Vayson hasn't sort of taken a step back at all throughout this fight and still putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, I love the way Shanborlang is boxing right now. I mean, he's gone from fighter to boxer, but Jayson Vayson is just constantly in front of you. He's just buzzing around you, and he's not allowing you to really do anything. So when you think of it like this, Shanborlang is boxing in a very slick manner right now, but the best way to beat a slick boxer is smothering them. So can Jayson Vayson just keep this act up? Can he smother his opponent long enough to wear him down and beat him in the later rounds?
Overhand right there, connects for Shanborlang, and left hook upstairs too. Really has made this a tough fight for Jayson Vayson. Been a very hard-hitting power puncher on the outside.
I mean, it's been quite an even fight so far, where we've had moments where we think Jayson Vayson is dominating, then we've seen Shanborlang really dominate. But the main difference here is, Ali, Jayson Vayson has had a knockdown against his opponent, which could be the deciding factor at this moment in time. We're halfway through this fight, but these rounds are getting closer and closer, where Jayson Vayson has really got to do something just a little bit different, because right now he isn't cutting off the ring, he's following his opponent, and there's a big difference in boxing with following and cutting off the ring.
Well, he's trying to do it right now, but Shanborlang is just too quick, too light on his feet. Got to agree with you though, if you follow a fighter, then you're just asking for trouble. It's almost like, you know, you're just walking into a trap straight away, but if you cut them off, it's easy for you to land the counters.
And both fighters walked into their own right hands there. They both landed clean right hands. And I would like to see Jayson Vayson cut off the ring here rather than just following, because Shanborlang, once he gets moving, once he starts dancing and finds your rhythm, he'll start picking you off with jabs and lead hooks, and that's somewhere you do not want to be. Shanborlang can box orthodox and southpaw as well.
Shanborlang storming the pocket with that right hand, going down low with the right as well, then upstairs with the hook.
And you can see Jayson Vayson just walking, he's plodding forward. The judges are going to like it, but the referee once again, and this is what we were speaking about in another fight, Ali, which is unless the referee calls it the low blow, you can't just keep pretending that you can take the time off when you want to. It might be a low blow, but at the same time, you've just got to fight on until the referee stops you.
To be honest, Jimmy, I'm surprised the referee hasn't taken a point away yet, because we have seen this low blow shot a few times, and these two need to keep their shots up.
And that is a clapper for 10 more seconds as well. I mean, yeah, you're right. Should the referee take a point? I mean, at some point, he's got to take control, and it might even the scores out if he takes a point, Ali. Fighting ability of both of these fighters. It's been exactly what we want to see in a title fight, and both of these fighters are definitely putting on a show for the audience today.
Yeah, they definitely are. I can't stop complimenting how Shanborlang's just changed his stance. There's one little change that he made in his tactics, and I feel like it's really helped him out a lot, getting his shots off. There's an uppercut to the head from Shanborlang.
Yeah, sometimes fighters only have one mode or one style and they stick to it, and sometimes that one style just works so well from they stick with it. But Shanborlang, I think, realized he had to change things up, and I actually think Shanborlang was actually beating Jayson Vayson at the same style of boxing, but it was Shanborlang who changed things up here, which might be the deciding factor for the judges in the later rounds. So credit to Shanborlang for really trying something new, and that was definitely a low shot, and that is where the referee should be now taking a point. How many times can you be warned by the referee and keep doing the same thing? There's intentional, there's accidental, but to me this is enough to take away a point.
Looks like he is going to take 1 point away by the looks of things. No, he's not.
Yeah, I don't think he's taking a point away, is he? Away, is he? Or is he going to give them both a warning? I mean, look, I think the referee should take a point from him.
I do as well.
It was a clear low blow. Look, the way it works in boxing is you give them a clear warning, you give them another warning, and if it happens again, you take the point.
3 strikes and you're out, Jim. Obviously not on Chris Anidek's mind today.
But fair play to him. He's taking control, he's bossing the fight. And look, Jayson Vayson probably feels he's being treated unfairly and might just give it right back. And this is the issue with not taking the point away and not taking control of the fight. The fighters take the law into their own hands, to speak. And, you know, that's one of the things Ricky Hatton used to speak about. You can't just allow the referee to protect you all the time, because if he isn't, you've got to do something else. You've got to gain the respect. But here we are, back in round number 6. Let's get back into the action and hope both of these fighters just put it aside and get going again. But one more, we've got to see something done.
Here's the left hook to kick things back off from Shanborlang. Right hand there, fired back by Jayson Vayson.
Just a great left hook, and then he got out of the way of Danger. I'm just surprised Jayson is able to take this many shots and stay on his feet. The man's chin is definitely made out of iron.
Yeah, it definitely is, Jimmy. Shanborlang though, oh, right hand though. Catches Shanborlang, looks like it slightly off-balanced him.
But Shanborlang definitely lands and gets out of the way. Shanborlang is now boxing. He's hitting a movement, but he eats a left hand in the process as well. And Jayson Vayson, once again, just stays on him and starts teeing off on him in the corner. I mean, Shanborlang needs to grab on and get out of here.
You saw Shanborlang just complaining to the referee again. But like the saying goes, you must always protect yourself at all times in boxing, in fight sports in general. Shanborlang giving Jayson Vayson a few free shots there early on.
Jayson Vayson just pushes forward, taking no prisoners. I mean, Shanborlang is still standing as well. I mean, both of these fighters, I mean, these are absolute warriors. Two real fighters just putting it on the line and do not want to go to the judges' scorecards clearly.
Jayson going downstairs, left uppercut, overhand right. We still have time left on the clock because of the stoppages that we had early on. Clock has not been reset.
Somewhat injury time in boxing, but it was one of those moments where it depends on what the referee called it as well. And here we are, the final moments of this round, Ali, and it's just been an absolute tear-up in there. Both fighters, we've had drama, we've had fouls, and we've had big haymakers being landed. We're going to get some one of those difficult situations, you know, the referee is seeing it from a different perspective we are, but at the same time, it's better to make a wrong decision, sometimes taking away a point in a situation like that, to just gain control of the fight as well. All right, here we are for round number 7.
It has been a real standoff between these two.
Yeah, definitely what we want to see in ABF. Lightweight title fight, Philippines taking on India. It's just been an absolute warfare. We're only in round number 7, scheduled for 10. This is exactly what we love to see in boxing.
Good right hand there, tags Shanborlang from Jayson Vayson. Can't believe Shanborlang is still on his feet.
Yeah, Shanborlang has done what he needs to do to survive. He's taken rounds off, he's danced around, and he's changed up his style. But the man, Jayson Vayson, has never once stopped his action. He's never stopped going forward. Now, what are the judges going to see? The defense-orientated Shanborlang, or are they just going to favor Jayson Vayson because he's constantly moved forward?
Vayson targeting the body there, going upstairs to the right hand. I mean, Shanborlang looks like he's got to be hit by a truck to stop him. He's already been knocked down once in the second round, which was borderline slip, borderline knockdown. But obviously, Chris Sanidet, referee in charge of the action, had a better view of it than I did.
No, I think that was exactly what it was. It was definitely a slip to an extent, but more of he was off balance with the shot. It wasn't such a hard shot that put him down. It was just he was off balance at the same time, which is still a knockdown, but I don't think it was a knockdown that really damaged him. The only thing it damaged was his chances of winning, because that means he'd lost that round for sure.
Right hand there, though, tags him from Jayson Vayson. This has been you've got to just admire the heart from Shanborlang, who's really starting to fade in round number 7. But he's still in there, still going.
And when you hear about a title fight, this is the type of fight you want to see on a title fight. You want to see two fighters really putting it all out and really want. That was not a low blow. Both fighters have just got to keep going for it and just keep going until the referee pulls you apart. It's been a fantastic war.
Yeah, it really has, Jimmy. Going to the body here, Jayson Vayson. Chris Sanidet breaking up the action. We're coming up to the 30-second mark in round number 7.
And that was a great shot as well. I mean, these body shots have been clean as well. They've just been landing well. And a great left hand, and that's the shot that he needs to land. Don't allow your fighter to reset. Hit them as they're moving back.
Shanborlang just trying to get out of the way. Use the ring as his best friend, find some space. Jayson Vayson swinging, missing. Landing with that straight right to the body. And again, landing with a powerful shot.
I love the body work that we're seeing right now. A strong finish. And that is the end of the round. We're going to go some action. So, like I said before, it's better the ref makes a wrong decision with something like this to set the turn for how he's going to control this fight than allow it to keep happening.
Yeah, 100%. And here comes Jayson Vayson, picking up where he left off from all the previous rounds, just on the front foot, landing these heavy punches, especially that left hook, changing up now with the uppercut on the inside and going down low with the uppercut too.
A great shot to the body. Both fighters looking very much like they've still got energy, but some of these shots are just got a little bit less steam, and you can see Jayson Vayson. To me, what Jayson needs to do is wait for Shanborlang to really start sending his punches, and as soon as Shanborlang tries to reset, that's when Jayson needs to really put the pressure on and just really give it everything he's got, because to me, Shanborlang is the one who looks tired now and looks like he's out of it. But Jayson Vayson, to me, has a good poker face. He's definitely tired. He's just better at hiding it.
Landing these uppercuts to the body as well. Jayson Vayson going upstairs too. Shanborlang struggling to get off his own shots in round number 8. And again, complaining of a low blow. This is frustrating me a lot, James. I really can't understand why the referee's letting this go. Shanborlang just bought himself 5 seconds of a breather.
Yeah, I don't like it when it's always the complaint, because to me, the referee can't see low blows very easily. The referee just can't see them. It's one of those situations where we can see them, so he's got to rely on the people outside the ring to give him an idea of what was actually happening, because to me that wasn't a low blow. It was a low shot, but whether it was a low blow is hard to say. Sometimes you've just got to fight on. I would like to see Jayson Vayson just to keep firing. You can't just keep looking at the referee in situations like this to get a breather, because that's all he's doing. This favors Shanborlang.
Yeah, biding time, not a lot of time, but enough time to sort of catch your breath. Vayson, though, coming in, slinging into the pocket, slinging those right hooks to the body as much as he possibly can.
Some great shots being landed by both of these fighters, but again, Jayson Vayson just looks like someone who is really coming out of the woodwork and really just keeps pushing the pace. He doesn't want to clinch, he wants to keep firing. And the referee telling him about holding. And here we see Jayson Vayson just really pushing the pace. The referee doesn't need to call that. Let them fight the way out.
Jayson Vayson on the front foot, jab, upstairs. Shanborlang just being tricky to catch, but he's now been boxed into his own corner. And Vayson getting tagged by an uppercut from Shanborlang.
Shanborlang firing back, but Jayson Vayson definitely coming out on top in that exchange, in my view. Shanborlang starting to hold on as much as he can. Jayson does not want to clinch. He wants to keep firing, and that's the right move here. 10 seconds to go, Ali.
Yeah, 10 seconds to go in round number 8. It's been a really one-sided round. This fight really has been one-way traffic for the last few rounds, going in the favor of Jayson Vayson from the Philippines. I mean, he's just looked so good and just been able to grind through the gears. Shanborlang, though, shadow of his former self from the previous rounds, hasn't really been able to land a lot of his counters. Really do like that he's using the shoulder roll guard, but again, there you go. That's better from Shanborlang.
The shoulder roll works when you're countering every time, you're getting underneath. If you've ever seen that fight, James Toney against Jirov, it was very much like this, constantly back and forth, but James Toney used the shoulder roll and won the fight by just constantly outworking, but it was punch selection that won the fight. As long as you can select which punches land, that's what can win. Jayson is now coming forward.
Yeah, he is pushing his opponent away there. Shanborlang looks absolutely spent, but he's just showing tremendous heart, a really big heart, and landing a right uppercut and a left hook. One of my favorite inside combinations. You can just land it and roll off that left hook so well when that right uppercut connects, and referee Chris Anidet telling them to keep their heads up again. So many warnings from this referee, Jimmy, in this fight.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where he's warned them about several things where, you know, that's just the way it goes. Two fighters are very tired, you get a little bit more sloppy, and these are some big shots landed by Jayson Vayson, and he tumbles to the canvas, but it's not a knockdown in my view. I think that was just a little bit of a push. Both fighters are very tired, they're very fatigued, and it's gonna get a little bit more sloppy, but what a fight.
And Shanborlang just pushing Jayson into his own corner, just biding some time. But Chris Anidet on top of that and warning him again, telling him off to not push his opponent into the corner.
He's also telling him not to use his forearm and his elbows as well. But Jayson Vayson is trying to break away from the clinch to keep fighting, and a great uppercut as he stepped in. Jayson Vayson just non-stop marching towards his opponent, almost just like a nightmare, someone just constantly in front of you.
Uppercuts here in the clinch from Jayson Vayson. Just the power has just left the fists of Shanborlang, which is a real shame because I do love an underdog, and he really did show some glimmers of hope in the earlier rounds, but right now he's really starting to fade. The wind is really leaving his sails, and Jayson Vayson is trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I really believe Jayson Vayson has just absolutely dominated this round with a cracking right hand. What an absolute turn of events. He cracks him with the right, and the referee's counted it, and he's called it off. I mean, what a beautiful finish to that fight, Ali. Jayson.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the time of 2 minutes and 40 seconds, your winner by KO, TKO round 9, fighting out of the red corner, Jayson Vayson, and he is now the new ABF Flyweight champion. And the person who just gave him the belt is the chairman of the ABF, Kun Narit Singwangcha.